Welcome to Damn Good Marketing Podcast, where we ditch the fluff, cut the BS, and get real about what actually takes to market your business like a freaking pro. I'm your host, Shelby Claymall, Louisiana native, two-time boy mom, and the founder of Shelby Claymall Marketing, a social media agency built for small-town entrepreneurs with big-ass dreams. I left corporate, where I was underpaid and underestimated, built a multi-six-figure business from the ground up, launched a sold-out marketing event, and created this podcast to give you the truth behind growing a brand online without losing your mind or your values. This is for the ones who are tired of spinning their wheels, ready to show the hell up, and finally market with confidence, clarity, and consistency. So if you're ready to grow, get bold, and to build a brand that actually turns heads and opens doors, let's do the damn thing. Okay, back on the series clip, I thought it would be a cool idea. I told him in the last episode that we are inviting all of some of my high school guy friends to be like where we were to where we are now. And I think the funniest part about this, well, you just spilled some of the tea for me, so it's really funny, is I literally have no idea what happened in your life after high school.
Yep.
So we're going to dive into it.
Okay.
About who you are, what do you do. I just think it's a great conversation. You don't have to just go. Who are you? What do you do right now?
Russell Pellichino. I'm an outside sales rep for an industrial equipment company called Escola. It's a kind of an old acronym that's not too well polished, but stands for Industrial Specialties Company of Louisiana. We've been around for over 50 years, and we do what's called valve automation. So we'll take any company that moves organization that moves liquid or gas or anything through a pipe, and we will supply them with valves that can control the flow of that media, and we'll do it with whatever means they see fit. So whether that be using pneumatic, which is air, or electricity, or manual, like gear-operated type of valves, and we'll make them fit their particular application best. So whether it be acid, oil, you got to know chemistry, metallurgy.
Sounds super cool and fascinating.
It's fun. It's fun. Constantly, it's kind of like a nerdy little field.
I feel it, and I feel like you're so passionate about it.
I am.
Okay, so prior to us having this conversation, like obviously hitting record, you said you met your mentor boss, whatever, at where?
So, I don't even know if you want to go back before that.
No,
but
I don't.
So
we're
right
not going to do that shock yet. We're going to go. We're going to start here.
So I was at a graduation party for one of my cousins, and I had already been wanting to get into oil and gas or construction for a number of years.
Right.
Like I said, we'll go back to why I wasn't, but I had been looking for opportunities through LinkedIn and other sources, and just struggling to find anything. And we're sitting on the back porch of my grandpa's house, just shooting the bull. And he's like, he said, "Hey, how do you say it?" He said, "Hey, Russell, just saying, and he's kind of like got a funny way of talking. He's like, I'm kind of looking to retire one of these days, and I'm looking for somebody to take over my business. I mean, you can make a decent living. Do you know how to change the oil in your car?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do."
Okay. Did you know where this was going at all?
No idea.
Okay.
And I was like, "Yeah, I could do that. I could change my oil." And he was like, "Oh, this will be a piece of cake."
Cool.
And he was like, "Well, why don't you come meet with us and see if it's something you'd be interested in?"
So this person owns your company?
He doesn't own our company. He was one of the top sales reps for his entire career there.
Yep.
And he was a mentor to the owner.
Got it.
He worked there before the current owner was even there.
Got it.
And he is related to me by marriage.
Okay.
So I went and met with him, and in about a month, I broke up with my girlfriend, quit my job, and moved in with him to Baton Rouge.
That's definitely a life
to
change.
go learn basically 24/7 with him. I mean, we'd sit around the dinner table talking about valve automation so I could learn and get up to speed.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So asking this, I'm just going for the jugular here.
Go ahead.
Why did we break up with our girlfriend for this? Is it because she didn't want you to leave what you were doing prior?
There was some...
I mean, you don't have to get to the details.
Yeah. So I didn't want her to have to move there.
I understand.
I didn't think it was headed towards like a marriage deal.
So you're like, you're cut.
So, and I also didn't want it pull, when I found that opportunity, I knew once I had entertained it and he kind of went over the depth of the position. He managed a significant portion of the revenue stream of our company.
Yeah.
He had a very, very diverse product offering, which was super technical to learn and understand.
You just knew it was going to take a lot of time.
I knew, and I was all in. So, anyway, moved over there and, like I said, lived with him for 2 years and learned basically full time.
Okay, now let's get to the goods.
Okay.
How the hell did you get into juvenile detention center? Is that what you just said?
Probation officer.
Okay, I'm sorry. How did you get into that?
So
let's rewind back to high school.
So high school, right? I get an opportunity to go play football in college.
Yeah.
So
where'd you go again?
I go to Millsaps College in Jackson, Mississippi.
Okay, yeah.
And get there, realize it's a really smart school, and I didn't really intend for that. I just wanted to play football.
You wanted to play football, yeah.
So anyway, I enjoyed it, got a really good education there in business. Mm-hmm. When I got out of there, I had obviously played football for my 4 years, so I had a very, very weak job experience, weak internships. I would train all summer for football, all season for football. I worked jobs on campus, but nothing that related.
Yeah.
So then I came out looking for a job. First thing that came up was a graduate assistant position at Southeastern. Mm-hmm. So I said, hey, let's join here. I'll get my master's in business with a focus in finance. I'll get out of there and I'll get some job experience, and then I'll hit the ground running. Knocked out my master's, and then found myself in a very weird position to where I was overqualified for a lot of entry-level positions in the oil and gas industry. But because of my lack of experience, I was very underqualified for a lot of the management level.
Yeah.
And not many people would give me the opportunity to work from the ground up because they felt they would have to. LinkedIn, you go on and it's an algorithm. If you don't check the boxes,
you're not it.
So I went probably about 4, 5, 6 months unemployed.
Nice.
Just sending out application after application. And I got desperate. And the first thing that came up was a juvenile probation officer position in Hammond. And I said, let's roll.
How was
it? It wasn't for me.
It was an experience?
Yeah.
Was wild?
Yeah. Make you appreciate what you got in life. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. So in those 4 to 5 months where you just didn't have a job, how did you feel?
It was pretty rough. Especially for a high performer. You feel like have a lot of value to bring.
Especially someone that went to school, had a scholarship, played a sport, you're already programmed to be competitive as hell.
Yeah.
Came back home, got a master's, and you're like, hell yeah, let's do this. And then you're like, wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
Isn't that so wild that your brain tells you one thing and you're like, this is what I'm going to do when I get out. And then God's like, no. How do you think that the job that you did encounter first molded you for this position? Do you think that it had a play and that it was important for you to experience that first?
Oh yeah. So, there were a couple of other jobs back when I was in high school that were rough. That one particularly was mentally rough. The stuff I had to see, the people I had to deal with. Can you give us an
example? Or?
So when you're a juvenile probation officer, you actually have to go into the kids' lives. You have to go in and meet their parents. You have to see their house. You have to see where they live, how they live, go into their schools, and you have to go basically meet up with them on a regular basis to check on them. And when you have to do that and you see where they come from and what they deal with, especially coming from a place like we did, where very stable household,
very fortunate,
and blessed, all that stuff. It brings you to life real quick.
Yeah,
brings you down to earth real quick. So that was tough. But what I kind of thought was okay, I'll try to go FBI from here and use my degree to move up in this particular arena. Once I started to see some of the stuff, I like I said, kind of like the trauma these people were dealing with, it was starting to weigh on me pretty hard.
I can about imagine.
And you were so capped at such a low income. It was kind of, that part was eye opening too, because obviously I had kind of some big aspirations. And so once I got another offer for a different position,
you were like, I'm out now. No even hesitation. None. Okay. So how long have you been, what is it called again?
Your company
now?
Escola.
How long have you been there?
10 years.
10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And you love it.
Love it. Yeah. I mean, it's sales. Sales has its goods and bads.
Yeah. What have you learned about sales that, let me frame this. If you went back and told yourself in college or high school that you were going to be in sales for oil and gas, like, would you have believed it?
So no, and I still, like, I'll tell my clients now, I'm like, part of the reason I think I'm good at what I do is because I'm not a good salesman.
I think that's what makes a good salesman, because you're not like cheesy. You're not a cheesy car salesman.
That's right. And I have zero interest. I have too much personal skin in the game.
Yeah.
For my clients to fail or to have something look bad on them. Yeah. So for me, it's not about making sales as much as it is pleasing people. And I think that's where I've gotten, I keyed in on that real quick. And the beauty of this particular industry is they want a technical guy. They want a guy that's honest and is going to be there for them if they need it. They don't
that's
want
very dangerous.
Yeah. So if a valve goes down and the plant is losing $1 million a day or whatever, they want somebody they can call and knows they can answer the phone and help them. So.
Yeah. I think so a lot of things opened my eyes when I was in oil and gas. So I was a marketing director for a non-destructive testing company.
Yep.
So
I'm familiar.
Whenever we go on amusement park rides or an airplane or a bridge or anything that needs to be inspected, I'm like, we just went to Disneyland. I'm like, when's the last time this roller coaster has been inspected? And people are like, why do you think that? I'm like, I think it ruined me because we were on literally Goofy's roller coaster. Okay. Roller coaster. And you're in it. And it's like throwing my body. And if that would have fallen off the track and you just didn't, I mean, it's Disneyland. They definitely inspect their shit, but we would have died. I'm like, and so I always say, you never put into perspective how important, if someone says, the oil and gas industry, it's just such a term that's thrown around that all these little specialties, people are like, it really is dangerous. So to have someone that's honest, that knows the technical side of it, that's like, I'm really just a bad salesman. I'm just going to tell you what it actually does and why you should buy from me. And if you take it, you do. And if not, good luck. But I think what is one of your biggest pieces of advice to someone that's in sales, whether it's oil and gas or whatever it is, when they come to this job, how would they be successful in your eyes?
So, are you talking about in sales in general, just in oil and gas?
No, I think in general. I think honestly, sales advice in general, because I think it could be a great lesson across the board.
So, in sales is really hard. I was going to say since COVID, it's a very different atmosphere than it used to be.
Yeah.
But if I had one piece of advice to people with sales, in sales, it would just be to be yourself and be more focused on providing a service or a product to someone that they need, is valuable, and that you can actually believe in than it is about how good you are at your sales.
Yeah.
So for me, I personally like what I'm doing, mostly not because of sales or numbers or competitiveness. It's because I like what I do. I like the things I'm selling. I know that it has value to the customer, and I'm not trying to bullshit.
Yeah.
You need what I'm selling, and you need somebody good to help you with it.
Yeah.
And so if you find that in a sales capacity, it makes the negatives of selling, right, dealing with people that sometimes you may not want to deal with, having to make people think they're right when you don't necessarily think they are. A lot of these negatives, it makes them much more palatable. Because at the end of the day, you're actually doing something of value.
Yeah.
Not just trying to push some product.
Yeah. Do you travel a lot?
No, not really. I do a lot of driving on a daily basis, but I'm home every night.
What does a typical day of yours look like?
So a typical day.
Bring us through the whole thing.
Yeah. So I also have 3 kids.
I know. You have 3 already? God, you're old too. How old are you?
3 boys. I'm 34. Well, I'm about to be 34 this month. So.
Why are y'all so young? Because Ryan just turned 34. I'm about to be 35.
Yeah, you were older. That's right. I thought so.
What?
Yeah, you were a little older.
You have more kids than me, so it makes you older. You have 3 boys?
3 boys.
Wow, a 2.
4, a 2, and a 6 month.
Shut up. Y'all have a fresh.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, how's that?
Spicy. It's wild.
I bet. It was boys.
3,
oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. I know you have boys, and you have boys in that age category. And it's
I'm 6 and 4. 6 is a whole nother... this isn't the right word, but I'm a girl and I come from a girl family, but sass is on like the attitude. He's an angel baby because he's my first kid. You know, the first and the second is like wild. I don't know what the third is. So I don't have one of those. But the second one is like, I don't give up attitude. And the first one is like more sensitive, but sass. Like, I'm like, okay. But anyway, go. Okay, typical day of you.
So typical day, you'll be helping get the kids ready and up and dressed and ready for school, daycare, grandma's house, whatever we got. Me and my wife's a pharmacist, so she's got a full-time job as well. So we have to plan every morning, depending on who's leaving earlier. This morning she left at 6, so it was my job to
get everybody ready and done. Yeah.
So, but on a normal day, it's help out with that. I got to be out the door by 6:45 on the road. I'll head from my house in Hammond. Usually, always towards Baton Rouge. That's where my territory is. It's like Port Allen, Plaquemine, Geismar, North Baton Rouge, Zachary, all in that area on both sides of the Mississippi River.
Yeah.
Head that way. Usually try to set up. There's 2 different types of appointments in my world. It's breakfast and lunch, and that's about all you got. Or you could maybe in the summertime bring something cold to them in the evening. But anyway, I'll snag like Chick-fil-A or breakfast on my way. I'll already have an appointment scheduled with whoever. I get out there, bring breakfast. I'm established enough now to where most of these people are clients that I do regular business with. I do have a certain amount of time I devote to new clients, but very little in comparison to maintaining the clients that I have. Yeah. So it's more of a conversation now. How's your kids? How's your family? How's work? Something going on? How's my equipment doing? You have any issues, any complaints, anything? Yes, no, or indifferent. We handle it. I'll leave there. If I'll go in the office, catch up on any emails I've got while I've been on the road. Mm-hmm. If I have a lunch appointment, usually it'll be with like an engineer or something like that. I'll go have lunch with them. See if they have any projects coming up, anything they're doing, how's my last job been, blah, blah, blah. After lunch, then I head back into town, start picking up boys from school and daycare and everything else because my wife works later than I do. Mm-hmm. And
you're like a Mr. Mom / dad.
Yeah. And then daddy daycare starts.
Yeah. So. I like to call them both because my husband does the same. Like we have to literally coordinate. I'm like, Monday and Tuesday, he threw me off because he works in oil and gas. He's the IT manager for quality companies out of Lafayette. Okay. And so he normally goes Mondays to Lafayette and like Wednesday or Thursday, but it has to be like, we have to plan it specifically. Like who's picking up the kids? How's my work? So like when he's home, I try to shove so much in a day that I'm like, okay, you have to pick up or like you have to do this. So we joke about daddy daycare, Mr. Mom, all the things. I'm like, but y'all help. Like it's a huge asset. It's not like one or the other because we both work.
Yeah, dad's back in the day. It's a different thing now. It's a different thing.
Especially with your wife being a pharmacist. Like that's pretty badass too. Yeah. And
she's awesome.
That's amazing. Yeah, the fact that like she still does it. You have 3 children. You're instilling great work ethic in all 3 of them. You have boys. So like what is one thing that you hope that they learn from both of you because they're boys, you know? In today's world, the Gen Z generation drives me a little bonkers, but I'm hoping to instill a little bit better things into our children.
That's right.
Of like kind of how we grew up. So like what's something that's really important that you want to instill into your boys? I know it's hard.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot. I actually have a list and it's called Rules from Dad. And
how cool.
I've been making it over the last probably 3 or 4 years. And I'll add to it one day. I'm going to print it out and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I would say that with my boys, the biggest thing I would tell them or try to teach them is to strive to do better than whatever you think you're capable of, and not only in one aspect of your life. Try to do it in every aspect. You know, a lot of people think like, okay, you can be a good dad in terms of providing for your family, working, this and that, but that means you might have to sacrifice as a dad at home. Like, do both.
Yeah.
Do both really good. And then, or if you do both of those, you might have to sacrifice as your husband.
Yeah.
And don't do all of it.
Yeah.
Do all of it really good.
You know, I just had an idea for you.
Oh, yeah. What you got?
Instead of printing it out, you're going to hate me, but I think you might actually like me. Your wife is going to love it. Your boys are going to love it even more. I think that you should make like little series, like a video series, and you keep it, and then you literally give it to them later in life. rules from dad. And like,
Mm-hmm.
it's like number one, this is why I'm telling you about this rule.
Yep.
And then like, that's like instilling like a legacy into, or tradition really into them for them to give to their children. Mm-hmm. And then their children will see the video of you. It's not for anybody else. It's just for them of like, I said, be a good, you know, husband, dad, friend, whatever it is because of this. And let me tell you something I learned as to why this is a big value in mine. I think that would be so cool.
It's not a bad idea. Yeah. It's not a bad idea.
So good idea.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, anyway, keep going. I'm sorry. This is what happens with my brain. It just
you're good.
It goes. Okay, so continue.
So anyway, I'm trying to remember where we were.
We were what do you want to instill in your boys?
So yeah, I would say to strive to do good things in every aspect of your life. And then I would also say to, you know, and I know it's kind of cliche, but find something you like doing. Find something.
Every person I've interviewed today said the same thing.
Just find something you like doing. And, you know, one of the biggest things I'm trying to do now is establish some wealth that I can provide my children with kind of a foundation and a navigating, you know, I've kind of got into real estate too.
Yeah.
I did early.
Yeah.
I want to be able to teach them how to do that, manage it, how to diversify and create some wealth, even if maybe you're not making a massive amount of money at your work. Yeah. But if you like what you're doing, you know, life's too short. It's just, I see people all the time now and I feel so terrible for people when I see them doing something that they hate. Like, that's gotta suck. That
does have to suck. And I preach all the time, like, you get one life to live. Like, I'm not telling you to go rogue and quit your job. I'm saying, like, how are small steps you can go towards building a life that you love? Is it a side hustle? Is it trying to find another job? Is it taking a pay cut if you can to build up to the next, you know, degree that you can? Because ultimately, like, your life is gonna flash before your eyes, and before you know it, you're gonna be like, oh, I just spent my whole life doing something I don't love.
But in that same token, the biggest, that's something else I would teach my kids is that if you want to risk it early. Mm-hmm. Jump, go, don't get comfortable early, run and go. If you got to go from job to job to job until you find it, do it early.
Yeah.
Because what happens once you get kids and a family is exactly what you just said. You get comfortable, you got an income, that income is steady, you got to stay there, you got to make that amount, you got to pay these bills. Your flexibility goes down drastically.
Yes.
So, which is something I did just because.
Yeah.
I mean, I jumped from one to the other really quickly until I found it, and I was like, okay, all in.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, I didn't mean to do that, but I realized that's the way to do it because I've seen a lot of people try to go backward, and that's it's tough.
Well, what I also too, like, just to understand and like, first off, pray about it. Ask yourself, like, God, what is a sign that I need to be doing next? Like, is this where I'm supposed to stay? You know, how have you prayed about it? Have you weighed your pros and cons? Have you talked to your significant other? If you don't have a significant other and you have nothing to really lose at that point, then jump and then figure it out.
Sure.
And then if you do, then like weigh your pros and cons, because when I left corporate, Henry was probably like a year old. Willie was a newborn. So 6 months.
Henry's your oldest child?
Yeah. So actually it was like 18 months old. Willie was 6 months old. And I was like, shit, we both contribute. Mm-hmm. Like, this is really hard. So I built up my business on the side first and then did a lateral move because you have to.
Yep.
But I also told myself this, like, God's got me, because if I fail, I'm qualified to go get a job like I just had.
Oh, yeah.
But if I don't do it, then like, am I going to regret this? Yeah. Because I didn't feel fulfilled. So like my advice, and sounds like what your advice is, like, obviously chase your dreams to the extent of what you can do. Yeah. Depending on your circumstances.
Another thing is patience is important.
Yes.
A lot of people have no patience. Me and my wife, we lived in a mobile home behind my parents' house for 2.5 years while she had a 6-figure income. I had a 6-figure income and could absolutely afford more, but we did it so that we could get established, make sure we're comfortable where we were at. Obviously, my degree was in business and finance, so I knew I needed to create a little bit of a foundation for us to be settled up where I wanted us to be.
Yeah.
And I was thankful that she was willing to be patient with me. And we did, and it worked out perfect. But that patience gave us the foundation to be able to make lateral movements if we needed to. It ended up we didn't necessarily need to, but it got us into a really, really good spot. And like I tell my wife all the time, it's kind of like sappy, I guess. But one of the things I'll just, every now and then when I remember to tell her, I'll just say, hey, remember, I'll live in a cardboard box as long as you're in it, because it's like, but at the end of the day, that's what I would always tell myself that no matter the risk,
as long as
I'm with her, I can go back to living in the mobile home behind my parents. I was just as happy then with her as I was now in my house with 3 children.
Yeah.
So my biggest thing, I'll kind of remind her of that sometimes.
Oh my God, how sweet have you gotten?
God,
everybody's grown up. As I'm interviewing people, I'm like, damn, people are like, wow, we grew up.
Well, yeah, it's important to remember that.
Well, Jimbo and I were talking in the podcast episode. Well, not really, actually. We talked about it after it aired, but there was this reel that was going around. I don't know if you saw it. It was, are you on social media?
I try not to be.
There was this 93-year-old billionaire that got interviewed, and they said, he was like, can I interview you? And he was like, yes. And I don't remember exactly how the question was, but it was like, what was the most important decision that you made in your life? And like, if you haven't heard it, it kind of like hits you like with a ton of bricks because you're like, well, duh. But he said the person that you choose to spend the rest of your life with.
Yep.
Because whether you are an entrepreneur or you're working for someone else, if they're not motivating you to be better, if they're not holding your hand when you have an oh shit moment or you fail, or like y'all at rock bottom, like it's not always gonna be rainbows and butterflies, but you have to have someone that's going to help you pick up the pieces and like not doubt you and be your biggest fan, but your biggest critic, like all this at the same time, like y'all are in this together. And when he said that, I was like, damn, because you know that, but it's like,
you don't realize it.
And there's so many things, like there's so many people that I've talked to or just witnessed that go through marital disputes, or they've gotten a divorce, or they don't like it, or like something, and I'm like, holy shit, like mine's pretty damn good. Like, you know what? Like, and you realize like, he supports everything. I'm more of a risk taker. He's not. Yep. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he loves what he does. But he's always like, I'm proud of you. Keep going. Like those types of things. So it's just such a important thing that you have to have when you are building a life together.
Oh yeah. Well,
and especially with children.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the other thing. Like if, I'll always tell this, like I have my wife's sister, she's about to have a kid, and she just got married and all that stuff. I'll tell like young people all the time, like that person you pick,
better be careful.
And the other thing is, if there's a chink in your armor in y'all's relationship, kids, they're gonna highlight it. And but if you're a team, they'll galvanize your relationship.
Yeah.
You'll realize like just how the lengths that person will go for you to help you out where you need it, be there for your kids and stuff like that. Or at least that's how I feel.
Yes.
Seeing how that's kind of played out, it's just like galvanized our relationship, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and you have 3 boys, and now you get to instill that into them. Like,
that's the plan.
The gentleman,
that's the plan.
Stability, all of the things.
Yep.
Looking back to just high school, Russell, did you ever imagine like this is where you would be?
It's where I dreamed I'd be. Yeah. Yeah. I pretty much like, I'm living the life that
you've always dreamed of.
I've dreamed of. Find a woman that, I appreciate, that appreciates me, that I envy.
Yeah.
And I found that. Have some kids. I got some beautiful boys that I get to chase around the baseball field with, work a job that I like, and spend time with my family.
Yeah.
Do all those things. So, yeah, life is pretty good.
Isn't it wild? Well, I told Ryan, I was like, I don't feel old enough for this yet. Like, there's days I look at my kids and I'm like, I'm supposed to keep y'all alive. Like, and you're calling me mom. Like, who's your mom? What do you mean? But then there's days I'm like, hell yeah, I'm your mom. But it's just like, you look in, I'm like about to be 35 and I'm like, how are we about to be? Well, I'm about to be 35. You're basically a baby. 30. Yeah, we got it. Yeah, absolutely. But like, isn't it so wild how fast life is?
Quick.
It is. And like when people say, oh, you better not blink, I was like, oh, whatever, it's not gonna be that fast. Now I'm like, they're 6 and 4. Kindergarten wasn't hard for me. First grade is hard for me. First grade is rough because first grade, I don't know if you know this, so I'm gonna prep you right now and everybody else listening. Kindergarten is when you share the table at school.
Yep.
First grade is when you have your individual tables. There's no more toys in the classroom. It's all homework. Yeah. I'm not smart enough for the first grade homework. I say that all the time. I'm like, John, can you read this? Because like I don't think I answered this correctly.
Yeah.
And it's just like kids just humble you very quickly.
Yeah.
But I think it's just such a cool life. And the fact that you just said what everybody needs to hear, like you are living the life you've always dreamed of. I think people take it for granted that what they get to walk in today is the life that your younger self always wanted. And if it isn't, there is still time to fix it and change it and to walk
Yeah.
in the way that you want to be. And God is playing for you. So
Sure. Yeah. And that's a good point. You know, the having faith in God and that him having a plan for you is important and crucial. It's a very pivotal point. But one of the other things too, that like one day I'd like to get into, if I figure out a way I could do it and make it valuable, would be to maybe one day teach like the importance of like financial planning at an early age, because like I kind of learned about that in school and I did it, and it provided me with the foundation and flexibility to kind of create that life I wanted.
Yeah.
Whereas I think the longer you go and the longer you wait in doing that, the more challenging what you just said becomes, because you can do it, but it only gets harder and harder and harder.
Well, you can teach it. You want me to tell you how?
Yeah.
You can just get on social media and start teaching it.
Yeah.
Just start making a video. Like, hey, I'm Russell, and I'm going to teach you financial planning at an early age.
Yeah. One day I'm going to. Right now, I'm pouring into my boys. I got 3 boys, and that's all I care about. Everybody else can figure it out.
Okay. What is one thing that you would tell your younger self as we wrap up?
One thing I tell my younger self is I just say stay the course. You know, I kind of always knew in my heart that like I had a lot to contribute, both to like a relationship, to a job, to a family. You know, I kind of knew what my worth was. I knew, but when you sometimes go to take risks or go places that you didn't think you'd go, you start to doubt yourself a lot. Like when I was at Millsaps in college, I always say it was a smart school. You know, average ACT score was like 28 there. You know, I was not. I mean, he was in high school with me. I was a kid, probably copying homework. You know, an athlete.
I was just talking with Ryan how he cheated in physics.
That's right.
I'm like, what? Okay,
that's right.
Nobody cares about that. Anyway,
go ahead. But yeah, so I would doubt myself if I was good enough for that, and then I would doubt myself if I was good enough for sports, or just whatever when you take those risks. You always kind of have that little question of if you are good enough, if you're worthy. I still do sometimes in my current job, like, man, are you really like, you're capable to do this? And that's, I would tell my younger self, just stay the course, work hard, and have discipline. All the other stuff. Big stuff works out when you focus on the little stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Well, awesome. Yeah. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
That was a great conversation. Did you like it?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, thanks for being here, guys. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, share. Hey, Russ, tell all your friends to listen to it. But thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Guys, and until next time, let's freaking get it.